It's probably secure. If your tide is, or your hat is backwards, but it's really not that secure, not that tight, it still might come off today. So it's not the headwind, it's the swirling action. So the same thing goes for the long hair. If you guys got long hair, if you want to borrow a hair tie, you're more than welcome to. I think I've got one left. But I've also got scissors if you don't have a hair tie. So you just like over it, like totally over it. But it's the same thing, you guys. If you got long hair in the interior of the boat, it swirls around your head. So make boat with us right now. Are there any flat earthers? Go ahead and stick your ridiculous hand up into the air so we can all see. No, none of you? So that's because the earth is round. Now right in front of you, you guys, you can see the Hong Kong-based Mount Baker is her name, serial number there. Flag of the country of origin not flowing in the breeze there. And then on either side of all that stuff that's required on every large vessel like this, there are the self-righting, not self-deploying, but self-righting rescue crafts there. You see the cross on the back, and that's the orange lifeboats on the side. So if this big old ship goes down, they'll put her entire ship's complement of crew inside of those vessels there. They'll seal the hatches, and if they turn upside down, they'll turn themselves right back up again, and they have all the rescue stuff necessary to withstand a lot of time frame before they get rescued out on the open sea. But the reason why they're that color, you guys, is it's the largest contrasting color in the human eye's perspective. It's called safety orange or rescue orange. Same color on the entire planet against that blue background. So really easy to see if you're doing a rescue out at sea. It's the same color as the life jackets that are on this boat, in fact, that some of you are beginning to think might have been a good idea to wear. I thought we were going over there for a second. Okay, how we doing? You guys okay? No wing. So the River Place Marina on your left-hand side, you guys, there's some boats in there we don't want to do any damage to. You get into a lot of trouble if you throw a big weight their way, and you got to kind of date the boss's daughter to get out of that much trouble. And he hasn't got any left, just sons. Even though it's Portland, some of those saloon doors only swing one way, so there's no rush there. We'll just cruise nice and slow. Nice and slow. If you're shaking your head, please know I can put this water anywhere. No, I'm just kidding. I can't. I'm only new here. We've got about 4 different styles of bridge here in Portland. The main ones, you guys, anyway, there's bascule and vertical lift, suspension. And here's your 4th kind. It's called Ugly. This is the Markham Bridge. Solely responsible for 2 different bridges having a couple of different really big bullet points to them. The Markham Bridge right here is the reason why the Fremont Bridge that you passed earlier on, that almost collapsed on us, it's the reason why it cost about 3.25 times as much as, not that it should have, but that it could have cost. And it's also almost single-handedly responsible for the Tillicum Crossing, which is that 2.2-mile cable-stayed bridge in front of you right there. A really cool bridge. It's the reason why it's so incredibly awesome. That's the neatest bridge around the Tillicum Crossing. But just understand, you guys, if you're not from here, it's a reward taxpayer dollars. So you can't alleviate any traffic. And right after it is the Ross Island Bridge, which is also a traffic nightmare. So if you're a commuter, the Tillicum is kind of the bane of your existence. But because of all that stuff, you guys, the Tillicum Crossing, the loose translation of the word Tillicum is extremely expensive and completely unnecessary. No, I'm just kidding. It's really cool at night, you guys. It lights up with 178 LED structures on it. The Tillicum Crossing right here. If you're ever down here at night and you want to know what level the river is at, what temperature it's at, the flow rate, anything like that, all you have to do is, if you know what you're looking at, you can just look at the Tillicum Crossing. It's interpreting all the information gleaned from the USGS box at the base of the Morrison Bridge. It tells it what colors to change based upon all of that river information. So it's a direct response to the river environment. It's a really amazing bridge over there. Latest Bridge 2015 opened, and you guys are back at OMSI. So on the left-hand side, this is where you left from. If anybody needs to get out of the boat, this is your last chance before you're stuck with me and my bad dad jokes for about another hour and a half. So do you like bad dad jokes, or would you like to get out of the boat? You guys good? Happy days? All right, I just got a full clearance of bad dad jokes. I love it. I love leading questions. All right, we're going to cruise up here for like 5 minutes, you guys, so you guys can just sit back, relax. Just cruise upriver. Here we go. as you can relax on a 50-mile-an-hour vessel that you're not in control of. Downtown, you guys, we normally have this vessel, but I do know that she's fully functional. I don't know if she's still steam powered, however. But the footprint of this vessel, you guys, just remember kind of what she looks like and the breadth and the width and whatnot. When you get up to the locks later on, this is the style of vessel that will be running up and down the river there, so it kind of helps to put a couple of things in context a little bit later on. Look at him sitting in that tree up there. Looks like he's looking right down at you guys. Are any of those children small enough for me to take? That's cool. that on purpose. It's Oregon, at our sister company called Hellgate Excursions. They own Katana Craft. That's who makes this vessel here. And she's 12,000 pounds, so very light compared to the complement of folks that you can get on board for a metal vessel. It's made all of aluminium. It's 12,000 pounds bare unladen weight, and then you add all of our weight on top of that. Now, we're almost entirely American in the boat today, so that's a lot of weight to add into this craft. She's got the 3 Ford Raptor 461 engine powertrains in her, so that's a lot of weight as well, and then 3 Hamilton jet engines made down in New Zealand. So that's kind of what's powering this thing. Now, right now you're sitting down, fat and happy, in the water, about 3 feet down underneath you, 2 3/4 feet underneath the water. So that's called the draft. That's how far down in the water she is. When you're up at speed, however, this big old powerful boat here, it lifts you up because it's got a flat bottom to it. It lifts you up and you sit on the surface of the water skating left and right. That's how come you can kind of Tokyo drift and spin and whatnot. Because you're sitting on 12 inches of water instead of 3 feet of water. So there's less friction and lots of slide. At 50 miles an hour, you see that vessel on your left? If we turn like this with the butt of our boat perpendicular to that boat, turning to the left, instead of throwing our wake towards that vessel, we'll throw it instead towards the empty bit of coastline on your right-hand side and or a stand-up paddle boarder. Now, the children are worth 15 points, but the adults are only worth 5. So really what you want is the 2 kids on one board. It's a maximum. This little girl right here, it's not the There's an osprey eagle nest in front of you at the top of a telephone pole structure, you guys. 12 o'clock. And it's twin. So there's your waterfall up there at your 11 o'clock. And here are your locks up here at your 1 o'clock. Oh, there's a dog. A dog. So between the years of 1890 and 1895, if you were a white male settling in this area, they had what they called the Land Grant and Division Act. So you got granted, if you wanted it, up to 300 acres upon application in this region of the world. If you were married, you could get up to 600 acres just gifted to you. That's federal granted land. But the key to this kind of framework of the story, you guys, is it wasn't just from this area and downstream below the waterfall. It was also above the falls, just in this region of the world. So if you happen to live above the falls, you had a lot less access available to you. If you want to stand up, you can, you guys. This is a pretty cool area up here. If you want to stand up at any time, you can. You feel free. I'll tell you when to sit down later on, but feel free to stand up, you guys. You see the kayakers at your 11 o'clock. The building behind them on your left-hand side, this is station. Water is coming from on your right-hand side. And it's actually returning to waterway through the red tubes that you're just starting to see appear underneath the danger sign way in the corner back there on your right. You see all the water coming back down into the waterway there. That's coming through the tubes. Now it's returning to the waterway after it's spinning around via gravity, pushing downhill and spinning around the turbines that are creating electricity for all the humans in the area. Now that water has been diverted. Okay, it's been diverted around the waterfall. If you look back this way, you guys, take a look back here. It's really easy for me to kind of point this out to you right now. The original waterfall is still there. It's 30 feet high. You can see the rocks right there, right? But right back here, you can see there's concrete that's been poured on top. And then on top of the concrete, there's also slats of wood. You can kind of spot the wood, right? So the wood run, it goes all the way up to the airbags, which are up here. Now, if you're not looking, it's at your 10 o'clock coming over from your right-hand side right now. So in other words, they're making a lot of electricity, and yet there's still a lot of water coming over the natural spillway on your left-hand side. And those airbags are also deflated, allowing a whole lot of water to come over there. It's time to go home and put your house on stilts. That means that the natural reservoir and the man-made created reservoir are both overfilled, and they're prepping for a lot of water and a heavy rain for a long kind of time to come in this area. If you ever come up here and there's more water than it looks like, starting your fish ladder system. There's an adult fish who swim around in the corner of the building. Didn't mind the water, you guys. Uh-oh.
Хорошие волны, такие такие волны.
Hi guys. So as an adult fish, when you're swimming upriver, you guys, you go past what's called the counting room. I'm pointing to with the boat. It's at 12 o'clock in front of you right now. It's the tiny separated shack at the end of the fish ladder system at 12 o'clock, once again, right now. There's somebody in there, no joke here, 9 to 5, 5 days a week, there's somebody in there counting the fish and identifying their species as they travel upriver. So that way, if you want to, you can look on Department of Fish and Wildlife and see exactly how many of what species of fish have gone up past this fish ladder at any given time. Pretty cool systems here, you guys. Pretty important to the Native American tribes. There's about 5 big ones they used to eat from here year-round. Salmon, steelhead, trout, lots of different fish here. Lamprey, eel, lots of bird life here. Petroglyphs in the rocks right along the base of this waterfall. And then at your 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock right now, there are 4 people, and a stop sign on the side of the road way up there at Oregon City's turnout. That's the only other way you can see this waterfall, you guys. Take one last look. We're going to head back downstream. Make sure you get your selfie. Remember, you weren't even here if it's not on Instagram, you guys. One last look. So this is the reason why not many people actually know about this waterfall. This is my favorite part of your trip today, because it's kind of a hidden gem. Looking up from your perspective, or looking down from the road, it's the only way. I did all 4 years of high school here. I had no idea. My dad did like 12 years here. Not in high school, the whole time, just in general. But he didn't know about it either. Pretty interesting area, this one here. It's Willamette Falls, you guys. Did you get that stuff? You got it? Okay. All right, here we go. Heading back downstream. this. I just got my shoe a little wet back here. So right underneath where that boat is on your left-hand side, it's a the anticipation. Guys, how do you want to return to the Ormsey dock?
Red!
Okay. So it was this lady right back here, you guys. She said wet right here. It was her. No, I'm just kidding. She didn't say anything. Let's give everybody on the boat a vote, okay? You all get a vote. But you guys, even if you're from Florida, you only get one vote, okay? All right, here we go. Hold on.